Okay, I'm pretty sure I'm already done with all of those. So all of the rune sets that I currently do have are only rune sets that are coming from here, which is absolutely an insane amount already. And I can also claim more of these, but I'll check later. I'll do it more on the spot when I actually need specific ones, I would say. Man, I don't really need more, but we can already claim these. And claim these. 125 mil mana. Never had this much mana on a beginner account. Okay, what was the one in here? I did already select 2 units, so just also quickly recapping of the stuff I did. I did get a star in here, and I did get my Abigail in here. And I think I might go for this guy as well on wind, but I'm not 100% sure who I go for on wind. And then afterward, we can also go for the skill ups that we would like to do. So there's definitely a few options in there. And besides that, what I've been doing in the last time, since the last video, since the last stream, was mainly, well, a lot of freaking... Well, it's getting like a lot of levels in, getting a lot of energy used. And with that, a lot of energy used, I do get all of these sets, which are pretty... darn nasty once again. These sets are just all so good. Is this a crit rate 4? No, it's an HP 4 still. Okay. So, yeah, if we check the runes that I have right now, look at this. Like, the amount of legendary runes that I have. Like, how do I have this many slot 1s, for example, already? I have 177 runes, and I would say probably like 30 or 40 of those are actually bad runes. And look at all of the legendaries that I straight up have. Plus, I already have 62 mil mana. It's just, and all of these runes are legitimately not even that bad. Like, a lot of those are kind of similar stats, but they're all like hero runes with 1 roll and then double roll somewhere else. Kind of on the low side for some of those side stats, but in general, all of those runes are just pretty legit. Like, this is kind of stuff that people could actually use. Like, sure, it's not super high rolls, but yeah, most of the time it's like 2 rolls in one thing and then 1 roll in one other. But a lot of these runes are really insane. So with those runes, and I didn't farm a single shit for these runes. These are all the runes that you simply get from the freaking events. It's mainly by just doing a lot of energies. What I've been doing is like just leveling a whole bunch of stuff. Also did do a decent amount of 2As already. I did the Rogue, I did the Balladion, and I did the Crow. And I am working on Spectra right now as we speak. And the 2As are also really simple. You get a lot of events where you get some material for like getting like the 2A dimensional hole energy. So that's pretty easy. So the thing that I'm going to be focusing right now is probably creating a Giants team. There's also still a bunch of Summoner's Way stuff I haven't done yet, because I kind of left that for in the video. So like this one, getting the Transcendent Scroll. I think we'll get the Transcendent Scroll first, then we do some summons. And then it's mainly going through a lot of these kind of clearing scenario kind of stuff. Getting a bunch of Devilmons in as well. And a bunch of other stuff. And then transitioning into Giants. And then afterwards transitioning into probably R5, I would say. Oh, you're maxed already as well. Man, maxing 2As on new accounts is so freaking fast as well. It's insane. Already did 4. And those dungeon runs aren't even fast. It's just a double extra, like 50% EXP that you get that's helping out so much. Did you use Delmons? Nope. Well, I used Delmons on Pharaoh. Few. You get double? No, you get times 1.5. It's in this buff. Here. Second Awakening 50% up. Plus you get a lot of dimensional hole energy early on. Yeah, it's also a relative new one, I would say. More into EU. And then we also claim this one. We're going to start with this one. This one, actually, I'm at 39. Already kind of started that. Okay, let's see how much we can claim from this. And then do some summons. Okay, not that many, but I still have a few in the inbox. Okay, let's see what we can get with these. Okay, we still want... Okay, I got 70 over here, 1 over there, 4 over there, 1 there. 105 over there. Okay, this is a solid session. More than I thought. So far, we only got 1 at 5, which is Poseidon. So let's see if we can up those numbers. Lightning rate so far on this account hasn't been super crazy. Okay, I'll start skillups, I guess. None in there. I do have the purple lightning on, so if we get anything crazy, okay, boomerang dupe. Verdi dupe, not too bad for skill ups, nothing crazy. Not useful. So far, this account hasn't been that lucky at all, because I already did like more than, I think, 300 scrolls right now. Now 350, and we only got... Okay, that's a good amount of 4 stars though. That's definitely a point. But yeah, I should be sitting on around like 2 net 5s already, but I only have 1. Well, we have a guaranteed one, that is for sure. There's the Garo for the Chroma stage, yep. Makes that a little bit easier. Especially with a Chroma buff. Joker. Come on, give me some... Oh, I have a lot of vert skill ups apparently. Squeech. Let's see what we can get from these. Okay, at least lightning could also be an LD4. It's definitely some LD4s that will be very nice on beginner accounts. Tomb Warrior. No lightning session. Another Inugami. Wait, we got Libli? Well, it's HOH right now, but okay, I guess we got a Libli. Nothing in there. Come on, give me some purple lightning. I'm pretty sure I'm 500 scrolls in this account, or at least 400 by now. Yeah, okay. We got the Shaman, so I don't have to do the HOH for that. That's at least, or the SD for that. That's pretty chill, though. Yeah, raids are really bad on this account. Like, to the point that you're almost like, should I re-roll this account because of just the account being bad on RNG? So far, it's been pretty ass. Yeah, do it. Nah, I already spent too much time on it. I don't feel like doing it. Actually, the most insane thing from the trend scroll is getting a Tasha so I can get another... I can choose a different unit from that. Daphnis. Ah, that's kind of lame. Yeah, Daphnis kind of lame. Okay, question. Do we want to make a Necro team first or a Giants team first? I think Necro team first is actually not that hard as well. Because I already have these 2. These 4. Could add in a Siren and I have 5. But I would need to full awaken you first. Would it make sense to go Necro first? Actually, it kind of does make sense to go Necro first, because you're farming Giants, but for what? Like, you first have to get a decent amount of Rage runes in to get, like, decent stats in anyways. Plus, if you want to do R5, you're gonna need some Will runes. So, yeah, let's actually go for Necro first. I do think that kind of makes sense. And all of these units are relatively easy to obtain right now. Like, this one, I did have to get random, but if you don't get this one, you just get an Ikaru. Simple as that. But these 2 were from the selection thingy. This one, of course, is free, and this one is SD as well. I like that idea. Something different, because normally it's always like, I would go Giants first because of the Teshar. We could still do that. That's relatively easy. You just get an Homunculus and you get a Teshar, you get a Prillia, you get... Well, Shaman is still good for that as well, actually. And then you would go for last units. Oh, wait. The Kona, of course. Yeah, let's do that first. Because also, I get Fatal sets. I'm not sure if this starter Fatal set is already good enough for... No, you need more speed on this altogether first. Also, if you want to do a proper Teshar team, you kind of do need to get towers in that you have over here. Like the skill up thingies. Because now you're rocking with a lot lower speeds and shit. If you want to go for the pushback... Or the push up back and forth thingy. Doesn't take that long to get it though, but you need like level 50 to get it, I think. And with that idea, I can also start maxing the other units, because you have the 4-star skill ups. So I'm just gonna throw those towards Astar and Abigail. Okay, so Astar. We can actually max that out right away. 9. Thank you very much. 4-star Devilmons are so nice. I love them 4-star Devilmons right there. Well, do we actually need Abigail max? Is it that useful? Because it does cost 12. What 4-star did you get if you didn't get a star? I went for a Galleon. Because Galleon full skilled was pretty useful. I'm not too sure about doing this one though. It is pretty useful for multi-hits. Because it does also go into this skill, which is completely useless. So that's 3... full and useless. But then again, the wild shot on a lower cooldown is really helpful. Well, if I'm first gonna farm Necro regardless, I might as well just do it. Okay, let's just do 5 and let's see how far it gets. Okay. That's... Wait. How many do you need on your S2? Okay, we just need 1 more on the S2. Okay, we're sacking the living shit out of this one, though. We're not getting good pulls, but we're sacking the living shit out of this. Just give me 1 more in the S2. Then I'll save the other ones for something else. S2, let's go. S3, that's the most useless one. Watch it now not go in S2 altogether. Okay, there we have it. Nice, nice. So then we have 14 left for other stuff. That's real good. It's actually strange why it's not having the Summoner's Way updated to ask you to do any Abyss stages. Like by now you would say like, okay, instead of try to farm Giants, just upgrade it with like a few steps later to farm Abyss, because you're not really gonna stick in the B10 anyway. Like any starter account, first thing you do is try to get like an Abyss team, because it's just way better for drop rates and stuff. Plus the Abyss stages in most cases, since the nerfs on the Abyss stage, they're not necessarily really much more difficult. They're barely any more difficult. Also, this golem looks outdated as fuck. Belladion's such smart AI. He's actually a really good death breaker, because he will always use just skill 1 if there's nothing to strip and nothing to heal. I also still have to select this one before. Okay, so question on this. Do I want to get a Luna or do I want to get a Lucas? Luna's best PvE option? Well, Luna's only really good if you can actually make the boss kill in like the exact amount of turns. And I'm not going to have the rune quality to do that yet. And Luna, of course, also doesn't help me for necro. But then again, nothing would really help me for necro altogether. I think Lucas because of R5. Because Lucas is a really insane unit for R5. But also the Rift Beasts and that kind of stuff. Plus, I wouldn't mind to use the skill-ups of the skill-up event in the Lucas as well. And I think second week I would go for Luna. Yeah, I think we're going to do Lucas. We only have to clear 2 stages. And then we already claimed the Lucas. The more we can do, the more... I think we might actually be able to do a few more. If we use some good reps, I think we might be able to clear some more. Wait, do we have some Asima reps or some shit? Yeah, this is a good amount of damage too. Oh, it was just after 1 run already maxed. Nice. Anything else I want to max at the moment? Not really. Kind of leveled most of my shits already. Well, I could Tyrone level a little bit as an achievement as well. Star is nearly maxed, I think. Dark Colleen for Necro Team? Yes, sir. She's nearly maxed. Not full maxed yet, I think. Then miss crit. That kind of hurts. That hurts even more. These sticks hurt. Not as many stuns this time around. Okay, good amount of things survive, so I can get my skills back from. That's always good. Good stuns. Good stuns. Okay, good thing it didn't kill everything. Oh, that was 1 armor break miss. That's a great armor break miss right there to get my skills back. Yeah, 8 should be doable this way. Did land the armor break right at the get-go. That's good. No glancing on this thing though. Oh, we did have a singular crit, but that's good enough. Yep. Okay, nice. No way that I'm going to be able to do 10 though. Well, we do have Lucas, 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 Lucas. Let's see, Lauren, your skill ups. There's more chance for slow and more chance for... Okay, it's not that bad. The armor break and everything is in there. Okay, then it's not that bad to have you. Let's see, probably have another swift set, right? Yep. Plenty of those, plenty of those. What has more accuracy? Here, focus. We only have 1 focus, but no focus in this slot. That's kind of ass. Well, this kind of works. Man, the amount of sets that you get is just like, oh, randomly, casually, another good set. Like, anything that I rune up is like, oh, I probably have another casual good set for that. It's just all the time like that. It's really insane. Hey, what's the team that I normally do with this? Oh, yeah, I did a Tyrone. Like, these 4 units. Wait, was it these 4 units? Oh, no, wait, Spectra in here, then Tyrone. That is my normal team. But then again, this totally works as well. Because this thing is still farming there for a while. Let's get all these mock battles in. Yeah, these mock battles in general make a lot more sense right now. You just have to select the right unit and it's a lot easier than what it used to be. Okay, apply, increase, okay, survive with everything. I almost already selected the wrong thing again. Wait, do you also have death buff? You don't have death buff, right? Well, it's maybe also kind of the thing which they want to do is like, oh, you have to select which one makes sense for this thing itself. And it's actually now also showing mechanics which do make sense in the games. Like, oh, you have arena tank for all of the elements, and your dome is stomping everyone to the ground. I like that idea where they upgraded the mock battle for making sense. Rather than it's like, oh, now do a crit wrong element, luck sack your way through because that's how the seed worked. No, it's actually, yo, it makes sense for explaining a mechanic. Like unrecoverable, okay, and then survive. Sure. And the thing is, just getting some artifacts in is just such a big boost always. Because artifacts start at the plus 15 and they have the base stats that just help out a lot. And especially since you don't have any grinds yet, it's good to at least have some artifacts because it's a lot of base stats added. Especially for survivability. Because we did see that in Necro being the failing potential for not having that. But then again, this dungeon is a little bit aids to farm early game. Because you don't really have that crazy good above blockers. Yeah, even this one, it's still like the 100 attack. Like, this is the worst stats ever. But the 100 attack does help. And that's the big part. So the moment you hit level 27, I right away would recommend to go in both, but just a little bit. And then just farm like B4 or B5s or something like that. And with that, you're probably good enough to at least get going. And then it's just the main thing. Farm them until all of your units at least have an artifact that somewhat makes sense for the stats. So you don't always have to go for an attack unit on an attack base. But actually the HP base on the attack units help out a lot. Because therefore they have a lot more survivability. Like getting 1500 extra HP is really nice. And for the Punisher's Crypt, you get Yen for free, which is also pretty decent units throughout. Let's do these. These are in there. You don't want to go for any pushbacks. So Fran and Lauren are kind of bad. Oh, let's just go Dasher, of course. And now we need another set. And the other set is going to be... probably have more vampire runes. Well, you're not being used at the moment. Let's just go for this. That is looking fine. Okay, show you've heard. Struggling to get 100 crit rate. Mine is actually 100 crit rate. I just went triple blade. Oh, wait. No, I went... oh, yeah, I got this one randomly. I had one crit rate slot 4. And I think that's kind of a must, but I got like one random somewhere. So on these, you have these special monster pieces. I think the only one that's interesting is probably this one, later on, the Fire Shadow Claw. But I would say mainly Argon is the main thing to go for first. Cool thing about this thing is that you can scale it up with other 4-star vampires. So there's actually a niche thing to give the vampires to this thing earlier than, like, for example, giving your Vert more skill ups, because Vert doesn't really need the skill ups that badly. But it's useful to get these in here, for example, because he kind of needs the skill ups on the S3 to get lower cooldowns and activation rate on the S2. So he kind of wants to have his skill ups. You do want to use them properly. Did I give a set to the Lucas yet? Nope. Well, let's give you Fadeler if we do have. It's also interesting to see where you see all of those runes being at. Well, let's just give the Poseidon rune. I'm not using much Poseidon at the moment. Let's just steal the whole Poseidon stuff then. Yeah, that's a decent first set, except that you don't need that much accuracy, but sure thing. Should be good enough to get a C rank. And you could manually, but we're too lazy for that. Him being a higher level definitely helps out a bit as well. Should recommend that, but then again, we'll get there later. In this case, we only have to do a C, and I think for C, you just have to do 1 million damage, which, as long as you make it through the first stage, you immediately get regardless. Is Julian any good for siege defense or arena defense? Not really, no. Yeah, this is definitely not gonna be killing this whole thing right now. That ain't happening just yet. Well, unless... that star lived with 1 HP. She lived! Wait, but we're gonna do too little damage to get to the S rank, I think. Because we need 3 mil for S rank. Or wait, is that the lowest? Oh wait, you need 3.5. Well, for first try, it's definitely not bad. Panda 4R5 is actually really good. And it's not that bad of a siege unit late game as well. Yeah, in this case, a cleanse would have been nice. I'm dealing jack shit damage. Wait, I'm not sure if your bill moves double right now. Yep, your bill moves double. We bad. Any new LDs? Nope. Let's hopefully see if your bill can get another hit off. Okay. Yeah, maybe this is not working that well. How the hell did I do this in one day, though? Where we can't do it with the three of us right now. Well, it was not the most consistent thing out there, but... Damn, I was able to do this in one day. Well, then again, I have less playtime on this account right now as I had on that account in one stream. It was just one stream, 22 hours, fresh account to R5. Well, we'll do that some other time then. Yeah, I think it's just leveling a bunch of those units right now and then getting more artifacts in for all units. And then from there, it's definitely a little bit easier again. So yeah, getting this to 2A, yeah, I think that's game plan. But that's just a lot of like random AFK-ish farming at the moment.
Thanks for watching. If you would like to see more guides, join the Discord and check out the content tab for the guide video archive, which contains all of the guides that you might need. Hope to see you there.